This week in Jamaica Now, JLP and PNP at odds as two more parliamentarians are referred for investigation for illicit enrichment. There is concern Hurricane Beryl's hit on agriculture could spark food shortages in Jamaica. Taxi operator charged for sitting in woman's lap while driving, and dancehall entertainer Rygin King arrested in New York. I'm Edmund Campbell and this is Jamaica Now. Jamaica Labour Party JLP Deputy General Secretary Charles Sinclair is calling out People's National Party PNP President Mark Golding for stating that no opposition parliamentarian is under investigation by the Integrity Commission for illicit enrichment.
The PNP president continues to mislead and spread mischief concerning the issue of alleged illicit enrichment and Integrity Commission investigations. The fact is, it's virtually impossible for the PNP president to state with any certainty that no parliamentarian on his side is under probe. As far as I'm aware, the Commission does not, as a matter of practice, write to individuals and state specifically that they are under probe for illicit enrichment. It's important that the country be clear that concerning this matter, the PNP and its president have been up to mischief and have been attempting to mislead the people for their own political gain and advantage.
However, in a swift response, the PNP said it was alarmed at what it said was the disgraceful concoction of misinformation and misdirection being employed by the JLP. It said the JLP is fully aware that the Integrity Commission does write to individuals who are under investigation for illicit enrichment to advise them of the investigation. This week, it was revealed that two additional lawmakers have been referred for investigation for alleged illicit enrichment. That puts the tally over the last 2 years to 8. It said 4 other public officials were also referred for investigations. The law blocks the anti-corruption agency from speaking on its investigations before a report is tabled in Parliament. In its annual report for 2022-2023, the Commission disclosed that 6 parliamentarians and 28 other public officials were referred for investigation for illicit enrichment. In the meantime, the Integrity Commission says its processes involving income and assets declarations by Prime Minister Andrew Holness are nearing completion. The Commission's chairman, Justice Seymour Panton, gave the update in his remarks in the agency's annual report for 2023-2024. Holness's declarations for 2021 have not been certified, which has affected subsequent submissions. The issue has been a major source of political controversy, especially with general elections just over a year away. The Integrity Commission is blocked by law from commenting on its investigations until a report is tabled in Parliament. Under the law, a summary of certified declarations for the Prime Minister and the opposition leader are to be published. Those for opposition leader Mark Golding have been published. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced the Relief Emergency Assistance and Community Help (REACH) program following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Holness said on Tuesday that the program will entail essential food distribution, restoration of utilities, housing and reconstruction support, and economic recovery and restoration of livelihood. Additionally, he said $4 million will be allocated to each member of Parliament to respond to the immediate needs of constituents. Ahead of Hurricane Beryl, the government allocated $5 million per constituency for emergency hurricane preparations and response efforts. He said an additional $3 million will be allocated to constituencies where it has been determined that damage is more severe. He warned that the distribution of relief must be done in a non-partisan way, charging that there should be no color or affiliation in a catastrophe or disaster.
While our immediate efforts are focused on providing shelter and relief supplies, a sustainable recovery is only possible with the restoration of economic livelihoods. 2 of the main industries in the most affected parishes are farming and fishing. We are in the process of crafting support programs for affected farmers, fishers, and small business owners. This includes providing financial aid, technical assistance, and resources to restart their operations. Further details will be announced as early as next week, Monday.
And there is concern Hurricane Beryl's hit on the agricultural sector could spark food shortages in Jamaica. The Ministry of Agriculture has reported significant damage to several facilities and agricultural projects across the island, including the Grace Foods agro-processing facility in St. Elizabeth, which had to be closed due to extensive infrastructure damage. A representative of the Jamaica Agricultural Society told the Gleaner that based on footage of devastation seen in St. Elizabeth and neighboring Manchester, there could be a shortage of certain food items. In addition to St. Elizabeth and Manchester, the agricultural sector also took hits in St. Catherine, where the Bodles Research Station lost one of 2 citrus budwood houses. The station also suffered extensive damage to its commercial crops and packing shed. In St. Mary and Portland, bananas took a battering with damage to crops exceeding 80%. One agro-processor, Andrew Gray of Gray's Pepper Products Limited in Westmoreland, said he stands to lose millions in raw material and international contracts in Canada and the United States if electricity is not restored to his business.
We expected some disruption, but not this much, because it's unfortunate that our backup system failed us, the generator, but we also have solar. But the solar only works when you have a JPS supply. So the solar, typically, when we have JPS supply, provides about 70% of our energy need. And we only get about 30% from JPS. But typically now, because we're slowly reliant on JPS since the hurricane, we have not been able to do any production at all. You know, the workers literally come in every day and we sit down and wait, because every time we speak to someone from JPS, they say tomorrow, and tomorrow just never comes, and they keep moving the goalposts. As I said, I expected some disruption, but not for so long.
Up to Thursday, the Jamaica Public Service Company said it had restored power to about 90% of customers. It was bitter relief for one St. Andrew family on Thursday after the body of drowned Arnett Gardens resident Alric Moncrieffe was recovered from the Kingston Harbour. The 26-year-old was washed away in a storm drain in Havana, Arnett Gardens, during the passage of Hurricane Beryl last week Wednesday. Lala, or Kalanje as he was affectionately called, was still clad in the multicolored hoodie he was last seen wearing on that ill-fated day when his body was retrieved near mangroves behind the Petroleum Oil Refinery on Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston. The Jamaica Defence Force Coast Guard recovered the partially decomposed body from the mangroves and transported it to land where family members positively identified it. Robert Grant, a relative, said it has been a terrible ordeal for the family.
Last few days, it's just a terrible ordeal, because even the same day I was out there with them videoing and acting stupid myself too. But afterwards when I came in and they said that happened to Kalanje, it was so hurtful. So it was so hurtful. Trust me, I couldn't even sleep the night. Honestly, I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. So I know, even yesterday on the beach, I was saying to our cousin, I don't even understand where his mother is going through right now, because it's supposed to be so crazy for her. Because just thinking about losing a child, because I have kids myself, you know, so I know it's supposed to be terrible for her, and I know what she's going through, so I need to watch her.
Moncrieffe's mother, Venetia Stewart, endured sleepless nights as the authorities, friends and family members searched for her son.
I'm glad my friend him body, and I just try to hold it.
The Transport Authority and police are warning that they will intensify monitoring of public passenger vehicles after having to take action against a taxi operator who placed a woman in the driver's seat of his car, then sat in her lap to operate the overcrowded vehicle. The actions of the driver, Calvin Cameron, were recorded in a now viral video. He has since been charged by the police for dangerous driving, operating with excess passengers, operating without insurance coverage, a Transport Authority badge and uniform, and operating contrary to the terms and conditions of his road license. In addition, the motor vehicle was examined by the Island Traffic Authority and found in breach of the standard of the law of a public passenger vehicle. As a result, the plates were removed from the vehicle. Following the charges, Cameron made a video apologizing for his actions.
I am Calvin Cameron, the driver that was in the viral video, being sitting in a passenger's lap, which it was a careless and reckless act. I'm here with the Transport Authority. I'm apologizing to the nation. I'm letting you all know this is not a regular occurrence and this is something that will never happen again. So I'm apologizing to one and I'm apologizing to all. Please accept my apology.
Transport Authority's Managing Director Ralston Smith said he is considering other actions against the reckless driver in accordance with their suspension and revocation policy. Smith is reminding drivers and operators of public passenger vehicles that they are entrusted with the lives of their passengers and have a duty of care to all road users. Jamaican entertainer Rygin King is facing criminal charges in New York City in the United States for possession of an illegal firearm. Authorities there have confirmed that the disabled dancehall artist, whose real name is Matthew Smith, was allegedly held with a loaded 9mm pistol during an early morning traffic stop, a spokesperson at the 113th Police Precinct in Queens, New York, told the Gleaner on Thursday. He faces 4 charges, including criminal possession of a weapon, possession of a firearm, and ammunition in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th degree. The prosecution is pushing for Omar Collymore and the man whom he contracted to murder his wife and her taxi driver to serve close to 50 years in prison before being eligible for parole. The sentencing hearing for Collymore and his cronies began this week, but they will have to wait until Tuesday, when it is expected to conclude to know their fate. Simone Campbell Collymore and Winston Walters were killed when men rode up on motorbikes and sprayed them with bullets as they waited to be let inside Campbell Collymore's Forest Ridge apartment complex in Red Hills, St. Andrew on January 2, 2018. The 32-year-old mother of 2 was shot 19 times, while the taxi driver was shot 5 times. Collymore, 41, a United States businessman, contract killer Michael Adams, and Dwayne Pink were all found guilty of the murders of both victims, as well as conspiracy to murder on May 15, following a 4-month-long trial. Another co-accused, Shaquilla Edwards, was only convicted of murder conspiracy. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner, and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page. Turn on your notification and subscribe today. I'm Edmund Campbell, and before we go, we take a look at some of the sights and scenes across Jamaica the day after Hurricane Beryl passed the island.